So you guys, a couple of you guys asked to go over arithmetic reasoning. So that is going to be the beginning part. Now, in the arithmetic reasoning, what I did was I kind of just like, I grabbed like a whole mix of them. I didn't specifically grab like one or two topics from arithmetic reasoning. I just kind of like, blended it all together. So that's going to be a mix. And what I'm going to do is that as I'm going over them, I'll ask you guys what kind of question you guys think it is, because if you guys are able to identify the type of question you're working on, then that will also test if you guys know how to solve that question. So after that arithmetic reasoning, let's see, you guys sent, and then you sent, I believe we have 2 algebra word problems we're going to take a look at. Just kidding, we got 3. And then we have some math knowledge review that I added in here as well, since you guys asked me to go over that as well. So let's get started. All right, so the very first question that we have here is that each August, a restaurant's rent is adjusted to the cost of living index. The rent has been $1,550 a month, and the cost of living index for this August was 3.7%. What is the new rent per month? So I want you guys to tell me, what kind of question do you think we got going on here? What kind of like strategy do you think we're going to need to, oh my God, my camera's working, yay. What kind of strategy do you guys think we're going to need to use here? It's okay if you're wrong. I just want to know what your initial thought is. No? Nobody? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
They said in the chat, simple interest.
Sorry?
Somebody said it in the chat, simple interest.
In the chat? I don't see it in the chat.
Simple interest.
Simple interest? It's
That's
not
what
going
they
to be.
said in the chat.
Why am I not seeing the chat? That's no fair. I want to be part of the club that gets to see the chat. That's weird. I didn't see it on my chat. That's so rude. Oh well. So it's not going to be simple interest, but it would be something else. Yes, we have a percent question. Very good. So what we do have is a percent situation where we have the original rent, and then the rent is being increased by 3.7%, and we're looking for the new rent. So because we're working with a percent question, we are going to use the part over whole equals percent over 100. So the whole is going to be the original rent of 1,550. 100 always goes here. Now I will ask you guys the question, what percent should I put here so that I automatically get the new rent? Should I put just 3.7% or should I put something else?
Is it 3.7?
Okay, so if you put 3.7, instead of getting the new rent, all you're going to get is the increase, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. When you do this, all you're going to get is the increase. So then in the end, you're going to have to add it to the original rent. As Jasmine suggested on the chat, she's saying that if we do 100%, which is the original rent, plus the 3.7 increase, then we can use 103%, and that will automatically give us the new rent. And again, we're adding it because there's an increase to the rent. Had it been a decrease to the rent, then you would have subtracted it. So with this in mind, now that we have our proportions set up, we can go ahead and cross multiply and divide. So the new rent is going to equal to 1,550 times 103.7, everything divided by 100. 0 will go away with 0. So we're left with 155 times 103.7, everything divided by 10. So let's go ahead and take care of the multiplication first. 155, and we're going to multiply that times 103.7. So we're going to have 35, carry the 3. That'll be 15 plus 3 is 18. Carry the 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, and 5. Next, we have the exact same thing. And lastly, we'll have 7301. Bring everybody down. This would be 13, carry the 1. 2 plus 8 is going to be 10, and 10 plus 7 is 17. 6 plus 1 would be 7, and 7 plus 3 is 10, carry the 1. That'll be 6, and that'll be 1. Because our problem had one number behind the decimal point, we are going to have one number behind the decimal point. So this is going to equal to 16,073.5 divided by 10. But we know that when we divide by 10, we have a little shortcut, which is that instead of going through the whole long division, you can just move the decimal 1 to the left. So your final answer for the new rent would be 1,607 with 35 cents. Okay. So again, just to summarize the steps, step number 1 was to set up our proportion using the percent proportion. Step number 2 was to cross multiply and divide, and we get our final answer. Okay. Do we have any questions, any confusion on any of the steps for this problem?
I know why the answer is like the gradient is 103.7 because I never see more. That's why I was wondering if I'm supposed to add it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, whenever you see that they mention like, you know, there's an increase or more, or especially when it's like problems, like for example, like you buy something and then on top of that you have to pay a tax. That's like an increase that you're gonna put into it. So you would add the tax percent to the 100%, so you get like the final price. If they mention anything like a discount or a decrease, or you know, you got a coupon or something like that, then you would be subtracting instead of adding.
Okay.
What was step 3 again?
I'm sorry?
What was step 3?
Oh, step 3 is just the final answer.
Okay.
It's just kind of like simplified the final answer. All right. So this next one that we have here, it says, when the temperature is 5 degrees Celsius, what is it in Fahrenheit scale? And they do give you the formula. So this one's pretty obvious, but I'll ask you guys, what type of question do we have here? Temperature change, yes. So temperature change is, I think, is like the only one where you don't have to memorize the formula, because for some reason they give it to you, even though it's not really that hard of a formula to memorize. So temperature change, they're giving you the formula. So Fahrenheit is equal to 9 divided by 5 multiplied by Celsius plus 32. So all you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, well, they gave me the degrees in Celsius, so we're going to plug in the 5 here. And we're trying to find the Fahrenheit. Now, what do you see is happening here? You got a 5 multiplying and you got a 5 dividing. So what's going to happen there?
Cross up.
Yeah, they cancel each other out. Exactly. So what are you left with? You're left with 9 plus 32. So your final answer is that the Fahrenheit is equal to 41. So it is 41 degrees outside if it's 5 degrees Celsius. And again, it's one of the few formulas that you don't have to memorize because they give it to you for some reason. I don't know why.